Hey everyone, how's it going? This video is the first in a three-part series about Japanese animation studios. Its purpose is to broaden your knowledge about each major anime studio. I'm not giving an in-depth guide to each studio, but rather a short rundown on each. I'm not an expert on studios, so if there's anything I missed that you think is important, please leave a comment. As a disclaimer, although this series is focused around studios, more often than not, it's the particular staff working on a project that gives it its quirks. The most obvious example of this is Shaft's Akiyuki Shimbo. Though Shaft is definitely one of the most unique studios out there, a lot of its calling cards can be attributed to Shinbo's directing style. My point is that the people working for the studio are far more responsible for what the studio is known for than the studio itself. That's why for studios like A1 Pictures, who have different directors and staff for each project, its identity is hard to nail down. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get started. Studio Bones is probably my favorite studio, so I'm going to start off the video with it. It was formed by former Sunrise employees Hiroshi Osaka, Masahiko Minami, and Toshihiro Kawamoto in 1998. Over the years, they've built a reputation for being the absolute best at animated fight choreography. Some of the most intense and well-directed fight scenes were created by Bones. Hell, the currently airing Akagami no Shirayuki Hime, which is a shoujo romance, has better fight scenes than a lot of shows. Bones is also known for creating very solid adaptations, but on the other hand having slip-ups in their own writing department, especially with original productions. They've produced quite a few great anime, but some of the gems are both adaptations of Full Metal Alchemist, the Darker Than Black franchise, and Sword of the Stranger, the last of which is considered by many people to contain the most well-directed fight scenes in all of anime. This is Gainax. That's it. That's literally it. So Gainax is a big favorite for people in the anime community. If there's a phrase that sums up Gainax, it's crazy shit. Their stuff is known for being full of action and full of fan service. Hideaki Anno, one of the founders of the studio, is a legendary director and writer known especially as the driving force behind Neon Genesis Evangelion. They've produced some of the most famous and revered titles in anime, such as Gunbuster, NGE, Fooly Cooly, and Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. The other big thing they're known for is the infamous Gainax ending, wherein finishing a show leaves you more confused than before and you have no idea what just happened. On the tail end of Gainax is Sugar, Studio Khara, which was formed by Hideaki Anno specifically to create the rebuild films of Evangelion. Anno and Khara are also at the forefront of the Japan Animators Exhibition, a project which releases free-to-watch short films weekly. The viral and unique Me was part of this project. Sunrise is a pretty massive and well-respected studio, which is actually over 10 studios all unified underneath the Sunrise name. Many newer studios were formed by former Sunrise staff, like the aforementioned Bones, as well as Manglobe, A1 Pictures, and Studio Dean. They've been around since 1972 and they've produced a massive amount of shows in a lot of different genres. However, Sunrise is mainly known for its mecha shows, especially the huge Gundam franchise created by Sunrise director Yoshiki Tomino, which has been a driving force for the mecha genre from the 80s all the way to today. In particular, although it's not like they don't use CG sometimes, Sunrise is famed for its hand-drawn mechs, something a lot of mecha shows these days don't do. And of course we can't forget about the gateway anime for the West, Cowboy Bebop, and its writer and director Shinichiro Watanabe, who would go on to create many other great shows, albeit with different studios. Sunrise is unique in that most of its shows are anime original, not adaptations. Some of their other non-mecha projects include the long-running and hilarious Gintama, Tiger and Bunny, and Planetes. Production IG is another large studio which in my opinion has some of the best looking anime out there. They're at the forefront of CGI and digital animation techniques, and they're the best in the business at making CG and anime look natural. Lately, they've been making a lot of very well done sports anime like Kuroko's Basketball, Ace of Diamond, and Haikyuu! On the other end of the spectrum, they've produced the two kings of psychological police thrillers, Ghost in the Shell and Psycho Pass. And finally, the breathtaking visuals but not so good story anime Guilty Crown. Their portfolio is huge, but some of their other notable works include Eden of the East, Usagi Drop, and Kimi ni Todeke. Wit Studio was founded as an offshoot of Production IG by IG producers George Wada and Tetsuya Nakatake in 2012. It is most well known for producing Attack on Titan, which I personally really love the art style of, and Seraph of the End, which many people call Attack on Titan with vampires. When most people think of Xebec, they think of ecchi shows like To Love Ru and Love Hina, but every now and then they bring out some pretty good, more socially respectable productions like Space Battleship Yamato 2199 or Pandora Hearts. Although they have made a lot of anime, most of it is not scored well or very popular. Also, they make a lot of sci-fi shows. From what I've seen on the internet, Madhouse is the favorite studio of the anime fandom overall. Praise is given to their consistency, their animation, their skill at adaptations, and so on. Madhouse is also known for producing anime for the sake of producing it, whether or not it'll make a better profit. The most famous example of this is Redline, an amazingly well animated movie that was in production for 7 freaking years. Their popular works are numerous and spread across many different genres. They include Death Note, No Game No Life, Black Lagoon, Chihaya Furu, The Tatami Galaxy, Parasite, Monster, Hajime no Ippo, Trigun, and many, many more. There's honestly too many to name, and I didn't even list any of their great movies. Also, they produced one of the best shonens ever, Hunter x Hunter. In my eyes, MAPPA is to Madhouse what Trigger and Khara are to Gainax. All were formed by very notable people from their parent studios, and all have made some pretty great shows in their short time as independent anime producers. MAPPA was founded in 2011 by Madhouse co-founder Masao Mariyama. This doesn't happen often at all, but Sakamichi no Apollon, their very first work, was actually really great and goes to show that Mariyama brought a lot of talented people into the studio right from the beginning. They followed up that success with the 3rd season of Hajime no Ippo, and then after that, their next big work, and their most popular project to date, was Zankyo no Terror, which was an anime original written by Shinichiro Watanabe, featuring one of the greatest scores ever made, up there with Cowboy Bebop in my opinion. Of course, both of those were composed by Yoko Kanno.